Are you making these critical pant mistakes that are instantly adding years to your look and pounds to your belly? I've been a fashion expert for over 2 decades, and I'm about to reveal 8 pants that every woman over 50 should banish from her closet immediately. If you want to look slimmer, taller, and more confident, trust me, number 6 is going to absolutely shock you. It's a style that 90% of women think is flattering, but it's actually doing the complete opposite. Welcome back to Senior's Fashion Police, where we prove that style has no expiration date. I'm your fashion detective and expert stylist, and today we're solving one of the biggest fashion mysteries. Why do some pants make us look amazing while others make us look like we've gained 20 pounds overnight? Today I'm sharing the 8 pants styles that are doing you 0 favors when it comes to that lower belly area. You know, that little pooch that seems to have moved in without paying rent. We're not here to shame it, we're here to dress around it like the styling professionals we are. Let's dive in. Pant 1, Mindel Ultra Low Rise Jeans. First up on our Fashion Police Most Wanted list, Ultra Low Rise Jeans. Ladies, these need to stay locked up in the early 2000s where they belong. I don't care if you see them trending on social media. They are public enemy number 1 for the mature figure. Here's exactly what happens when jeans sit this low on your hips. They literally cut your torso in half, creating an instant muffin top effect on even the slimmest figures. The low waistband sits below your natural waist, which means it pushes everything mindel. And I mean everything up and out, making your lower belly the unwanted star of the show. But it gets worse. Your torso looks shorter because there's no definition at your natural waist. Your midsection looks wider because all that soft tissue has nowhere to go but out. And practically speaking, you're constantly pulling them up, adjusting and feeling uncomfortable. It's a triple fashion disaster that ages you instantly and makes you look heavier than you actually are. Pant 2. Elastic Waist Tapered Pants. Number 2 on our avoid at all costs list. Those elastic waist pants with severely tapered legs. Now I hear you already. But they're so comfortable. And yes, I understand the appeal, but comfort should never come at the complete sacrifice of your silhouette. Here's the problem, that elastic waistband creates instant bulk right at your waistline. It bunches, it rolls, it creates texture where we want smoothness. Then those narrow tapered legs make your lower body look disproportionately tiny compared to your midsection. This creates what I call the upside-down triangle effect, wide at the top, narrow at the bottom. The visual result? Every single eye that looks at you goes straight to your midsection. It's like wearing a flashing neon sign that says, "Look at my belly." Your proportions look completely off, and you end up looking bottom-heavy in the worst possible way. Now if you absolutely need the comfort of elastic wool, and I get it, sometimes we do choose straight or slightly flared low instead. This creates balance and draws the eye down your leg line rather than stopping it at your waist. Pant 3. Hip Hugger Bootcut Jeans. Third on our Fashion Police wanted list, Hip Hugger Bootcut Jeans. Now this one might surprise you, because bootcut can be incredibly flattering, but only when it's done right, and this isn't it. Here's the science behind why these don't work when any pant sits at hip level instead of your natural waist. It pushes all your soft tissue upward. Think about it. When you wear a belt at your hips versus at your waist, where does everything go? Up and out. Your natural curves, which should be assets, become problem areas instead. The hip placement completely sabotages what should be a beautiful bootcut silhouette. Instead of creating that lovely elongated leg line that bootcut is famous for, you get emphasis right at your lower belly area. The slight flare at the bottom can't compensate for the disaster happening at the top. And here's what really gets me. These jeans often gap at the back waistband because they're not sitting where they should be sitting. So not only do they emphasize your belly, but they also create that dreaded back gap that makes you constantly fidget with your clothes. Always choose bootcut jeans that hit at your natural waist instead. It's a completely different and much more flattering look. Pant 4. Pleated Front Trousers. My friends, I know they seem like a good idea in theory. More room, more comfort, but in practice they're creating chaos on your silhouette. Here's exactly what those pleats are doing to you. They're adding fabric bulk precisely where mature figures need it least. Each pleat creates a fold of extra fabric right across your lower abdomen. When you're standing, they create horizontal lines that make your midsection appear wider. When you're sitting, they bunch up and create even more unflattering bulk. But it's not just about the fabric bulk, it's about visual weight. Pleats create texture, shadow and dimension right where we want our eye to glide smoothly past. They're like little fabric arrows pointing directly at your belly, saying, "Hey, look over here." The psychology of dressing is that smooth, uninterrupted lines create the illusion of a slimmer silhouette, while texture and interruption create visual weight and emphasis. Pleated trousers do the exact opposite of what we want them to do. Instead, choose flat front trousers with a smooth front panel. They create a sleek, streamlined silhouette that skims over your curves beautifully without adding any unnecessary visual or physical bulk. Pant 5. Eel Ultra Tight Skinny Jeans. Fifth on our list. Eel Ultra Tight Skinny Jeans. Now, I need to have a heart-to-heart with you about this one. If you need a shoehorn, a prayer, and 15 minutes of deep breathing to get into your jeans, they are too tight. Here's the counterintuitive truth that many women don't realize. Tighter does not equal more flattering, especially on mature figures. When jeans are too tight, several unflattering things happen simultaneously. First, the compression causes spillage over the waistband, that dreaded muffin top effect that we're all trying to avoid. Second, too tight fabric creates what I call the sausage casing look. Instead of smoothing over your curves, the fabric clings to every bump, dimple, and curve, highlighting things you'd rather have skimmed over. The compression actually pushes soft tissue up and over the waistband, emphasizing your lower belly instead of containing it. Third, when you sit down in too tight jeans, they cut into your abdomen, creating that uncomfortable bulge above the waistband that makes you constantly want to cover up with longer tops. The solution? Go up a size, I promise you. No one can see the number on your tag, but everyone can see when your clothes don't fit properly. Or better yet, try straight leg jeans with a bit of stretch. They'll be infinitely more comfortable and flattering. Pant 6. Cropped wide leg pants. Number 6, and this is the one that's going to shock you, cropped wide leg pants. I know. Wide leg pants are having a major moment, and they can be wonderfully flattering, but when they're cropped short and wide, they become a proportion nightmare. Here's what's happening. That wide crop creates a harsh horizontal line that literally cuts your legs short. Instead of that long, elegant line that full-length wide legs create, you get a chopped-off look that makes you appear shorter and stockier. But the real problem is the proportion imbalance. All that volume and width up top, especially when it ends abruptly at your calf, makes your midsection look larger by comparison. Your eye sees all that fabric volume, and assumes your body underneath must be equally voluminous. It's basic visual psychology. When you have a lot of fabric volume that ends abruptly, it creates visual weight and emphasis wherever it stops. So instead of creating that beautiful flowing silhouette that wide legs are famous for, cropped wide legs create a boxy, heavy look that adds visual pounds exactly where we don't want them. If you love the wide leg trend, and you should, because it can be incredibly chic, choose full-length or ankle-length versions instead. They create that gorgeous unbroken line from waist to floor that's so incredibly elongating and elegant. Pant 7, Low-Rise Palazzo Pants. 7th on our fashion Palazzo most wanted list, low-rise Palazzo pants. This breaks my heart because Palazzo pants can be so incredibly elegant, sophisticated and comfortable. But when they sit low on your hips instead of your natural waist, they transform from elegant to unflattering in an instant. Here's the issue. Palazzo pants are all about maximum fabric volume and beautiful draping. When that volume starts from your natural waist, it creates this gorgeous flowing silhouette that skims over your curves beautifully. But when all that fabric volume starts from your hip level, it creates visual weight right at your lower belly area. Think about it this way. It's like having a spotlight shining on your midsection. All that beautiful flowing fabric draws the eye to exactly where it's starting from, which in this case is your hip and lower belly area. Instead of creating that graceful, elongated silhouette, low-rise palazzo pants make your midsection the focal point of your entire outfit. Plus, there's a practical issue when palazzo pants sit low. They often slide down further throughout the day, especially when you're walking or sitting. You end up constantly hitching them up, which is neither comfortable nor elegant. The fix is simple, but makes all the difference. Choose high-waisted palazzo pants that start at your natural waist. They'll contain and smooth your midsection while creating that beautiful flowing silhouette from the right starting point. Pant 8 Mitch gathered waist casual pants. And these look so innocent hanging on the rack, don't they? So comfortable, so forgiving, so easy to wear. But all that gathering and shirring at the waistband is creating a fashion disaster you might not even realize. Here's what's happening. Every single gather, every piece of shirring, every bit of extra fabric at that waistband is adding bulk and visual noise right at your midsection. It's not just the physical bulb, though that's certainly there, it's the visual chaos all that texture creates. Remember, our goal is to create smooth, clean lines that allow the eye to glide gracefully over our silhouette. All that gathering does the exact opposite. It creates stopping points, visual interruption, and emphasis right where we want things to be smooth and streamlined. When you sit down, all that gathered fabric bunches up even more, creating additional bulk and an unflattering silhouette. When you stand up, it often doesn't lay flat again, leaving you with a rumpled, messy appearance around your midsection. The gathered fabric also tends to add literal inches to your waistline measurement. So not only does it make you look bigger, it actually makes you bigger in those pants. Instead, look for pants with clean, flat waistbands that lie smooth against your body. You'll be amazed at how much more streamlined and polished your silhouette looks. So what should you wear instead? Here are my golden rules. Choose mid-rise to high-rise pants that hit at your natural waist. This is your magic zone. It contains and smooths your midsection while creating a longer leg line. Look for flat fronts over pleats, straight or boot-cut legs over tapered, and smooth waistbands over gathered or elastic. Your pant should skim your bum, not squeeze it or tent over it. And remember, fit is everything. A larger size that fits properly will always look better than a smaller size that's too tight. Remember, beautiful viewers, these guidelines aren't about limiting your style. They're about helping you make choices that showcase your best assets. Your body has carried you through decades of amazing experiences. Let's dress it with the love and style savvy it deserves. Which of these pant pitfalls have you fallen into? Drop a comment below. We've all been there. If this video helped you avoid a fashion disaster, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more real-world style solutions. Until next time, keep serving looks that make you feel fabulous at every age.